We are live. We are live. Let's freaking go. Big show for you tonight. Great show. Has the UFC gone full Hollywood because of the Nina dramas, the new owners, the celebrity influencer culture? And have they gone full WWE at this point? We're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about the pluses. We're going to talk about the minuses. We're going to go balls deep on the UFC tonight. Let's freaking go, guys. I am your host. My name is King David MMA. I am a professional MMA champion of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I coach at Extreme Couture, the greatest gym on the world. I don't give a fuck what the award show says. And I'm on the pro team there. So I know a lot of these people personally and train with them. So we are going to get into it right now, guys. Let me drop something for you in the chat. I'm going to check the chat. I see the chat's already hopping off. Let's go. We got John Dong, the original super liker, in the building. So if you guys want to super like or super chat, we have the ability to do that now. It's called we're monetized. All right. John Hogan, we got double Johns, John Dong and John Hogan. John Hogan says, hi, everyone. Hey, John Hogan, how are you doing? Fine, sir. Let me drop this here. Studio Millions will get you guys right. Send it to a gym owner, you know. Send them to Studio Millions. They will thank you for it. Make sure you have notifications turned to all because I go live at random times. So bang that bell. It feels good when you do it. And if you subscribe to the channel for any period of time, I just want to say I appreciate you, man. For real, guys, we're over like 600 and some subscribers now. We're about to crack 1,000. That's because of you guys. So shout out to you guys. And for real. Because on some of these lives, I tell people don't subscribe. I'm like, hey, if you're a weenie, a wussy, wobbly head weasel, right? Any of that, don't subscribe. If you're a bobblehead, a bimbo, I go down the list. I say don't subscribe. So the fact that you guys have subscribed and you identify as real ones, because we're trying to get as close to the truth as possible on here, and we're trying to keep it real. I appreciate you guys. Arpon the Don says, real ones, holla in the chat. John Hogan says, cool to see you on earlier. Yeah, man, my girlfriend, she is very, very supportive of me going earlier. So, I happen to be a little bit of a night owl. I'm out here in Vegas right now, chilling. And Vegas has a lot of energy at night. So for the majority of my adult life, I have been away. And here's the other thing. I remember, guys, if you've ever lived in Vegas, there was several years where people would ask me, because I was pale. I know you see me glowing like a bronze statue right now, carved out of fucking marble and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the jawline. But for a while, I was quite pale, almost vampiric, if you will, right? And people go, how are you? Dude, you have 0 tan. How are you pale? You live in Vegas. And I would explain to them, I said, listen, man, Vegas is too hot to go out in the daytime. So I only go out at night. So I was on that vampire schedule, guys. I was on that vampire schedule. Speaking of which, I shaved my whole front of my body today. I call that vampire. I still got a hairy ass back. I haven't got to that yet. I call that werewolf. So if you guys have a girlfriend that's into fantasy novels, that's the play, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the play. If she's into Twilight, she'll understand. Anyways, guys, let's get this fucking party started, guys. So has UFC gone full WWE? Are they officially Hollywood now? Because the WWE literally has DoorDash going on mid-promo. So guys will be in the back cutting a promo. And guys, tonight when I step in hold on, my DoorDash is here. And then they collect like a DoorDash and hold it up. And they're going, okay, now that I've ordered my DoorDash for a low price on the app that you can download now. And they set the DoorDash down. They go, I'm going to call out everybody in the WWE and we're going to have a match tonight. And you're like, bro. The product placement is a little much. And so has the UFC become that? Because I'm happy the UFC got $7 billion, right? That's $7,000 million. And I believe it was 7.7. So that means they got $7,700 million. Good for them. I support success. I appreciate abundance. But the question is this, at what cost, man? At what cost? Because we got Sean Strickland, the UFC champion, getting the boot at the White House, getting arrested for having a viewpoint. And on that same event, we literally, so the fans are with Strickland. This is the point of what I'm getting into in this segment. The fans are with Strickland. Strickland is a man of the people. He's speaking what's on the hearts and minds that I hear every day when I'm out. I'm at the gym. There's over 1,000 members at Extreme Couture, like probably 2,000. A lot of people there. I hear what the streets are saying. I keep my ear to the streets. And almost everybody is in unison. Either they're not involved in it at all or they're in alignment with Strickland's beliefs. Like, hey, man, let's fix the roads and the education in America. Maybe get us some fucking, I don't know, healthy, fucking happy kids, some education, some, roads, some bridges, you know what I mean? Maybe like help veterans, crazy concepts. And then they're not super like going to war overseas. And it's okay. So you guys get what I'm saying, right? And then the UFC literally has war.gov ads on the UFC White House, right? So they're trying to be super American. They're trying to be super patriotic. They're doing the White House event. And then they're putting up these like, hey, we're Americans. The patriotic thing to do is to go to war on the behalf of, and I don't understand geopolitics, okay? But from what I hear, talking to other people that may or may not understand geopolitics at the gym, that might not be the play, right? That might not be the most American thing for American soldiers to sign up for, yet it's being advertised because it's good for business. And it's like, well, at what fucking cost, man? So are we just taking all the money? Like whatever money comes our way now, is that the new era of the UFC? Are we going to have DoorDash commercials in the back? Like Strickland's getting ready to fight and Nina Drama drops off his DoorDash right before he fucking walks out. Oh man, I'm feeling dehydrated. I need a Prime. I wonder if I can get that on DoorDash. Hey, Nina Drama, you showed up with Logan Paul and he brought me a Prime. Thanks, DoorDash. I'm going to go fight. And then they walk out. Is that what we're doing now? Is that what it's coming to? Because really, and what brought this whole subject up was a couple of things. But one thing I was thinking about, I just posted a reel with me and Rampage Jackson on my Instagram, King David MMA. It's up on my story right now. And every time I see Rampage, he's got something to say about my outfit. Okay, he's very critical, right? But guess what? We agree to disagree on fashion choices. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, I post this and it got me thinking that Rampage is on record saying he's made more money kick streaming than he has in his entire martial arts career. So what are we to do, guys? Because the UFC is literally putting up like fucking Palantir ads. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, there's a lot of people that are like pushing back against that business, right? They're like, hey, maybe we don't need that surveilling every single person at all time, right? I don't know the logistics of it. I'm just saying what I'm hearing. This is like fifth party. This isn't first party. I don't know what it's actually doing. I don't know how the data's collected. I don't know what that means. I don't know what level of surveillance it is or what's even acceptable, if any, like what's necessary to keep us safe. Like, I don't know shit. I'm just saying I hear people pushing back against that. And those are the types of ads that are running on like the UFC White House. I actually think it was like Andrill or some like fucking war company. Like, hey man, you know all those kids you don't like us blowing up over there? We make the bombs, right? Or whatever the fuck is going on. Like I said, I don't look into any of this shit. The point is that they're $7 billion. The fighters feel they're underpaid. And then they get paid more to kickstream. So as critical as we could be of fucking Nina Drama putting her feet up on the camera, she's helping Armin make a bag. Now, not that Armin needs it because his dad's a billionaire. He's cool, right? He's going to be fine for the rest of his life. But a lot more fighters are going to start kick streaming because it's more lucrative than fighting. And then once they get to a certain level of fame, they're like, dude, why would I go fight that fucking tough-ass 22-0 dude from the fucking mountains that shaves his mustache but keeps a beard for whatever reason Why would I go fight that guy? He doesn't even believe in deodorant. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people from a lot of countries, guys, you live in America. You think deodorant's normal. Listen, I moved to San Diego. I was living at the beach. 50% of the people in this beach community did not believe in deodorant. No matter what their national, I'm talking San Diegans, let alone internationally. It's not even a fucking thing, right? So, hey, you want to go get beat up by some dude who's 22-0 that stinks? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to wrestle fuck you for a couple $100,000? Or you could make that in a month kick streaming, hanging out with Nina Drama, eating fucking crepes in the Alps, right? So like what are we to do now as a community? Is the answer we gotta watch Netflix when Jake Paul does it? Do we need to hope Jake Paul does more events so that there's some competitive force in the marketplace? Or are we hoping that UFC just bans fighters from kick streaming? Or is UFC the platform that gets you famous enough to get a kick stream going? Is that the new business model? I'm asking questions. We got HHH Custom Knives in the chat. How's it, champ? What's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you on the stream, my guy. Yeah, so people are saying Paddy Pimblett's being protected. People are saying that he'll never be champ. People are saying that it's this new social media era where they're trying to promote stars, and it started around Conor McGregor, right? What are they going to do with Conor moving forward? I believe Conor can beat Max Holloway. I know, hot take. Nobody agrees with me. People think I'm trolling. They think whatever. That's fine. The consensus is Conor's cooked. Conor's washed. He's never going to be what he was. Yet they're going to bring him back again. Why? Because it's a fucking business. It's called the fight business, right? So at what point is it no longer a sport and it's entertainment, right? Like how much business, like once the business hits what level? Like, hey, if fucking Clavicular wants to fight Nina Drama in a fucking cage fight, are they going to put that on? You don't like, or whatever, Clavicular versus Sneeko or some shit, right? Are they going to put that fight on? Well, it's good business, but it's not relevant. Well, and it's like, is the actual metric, and I'm guessing this is what it is. We're going to put on the most popular fighters to fight the other most popular fighters who, as long as they both have some form of legitimate argument that maybe they could at least potentially be champion. Because if we're going strictly by who's the best fighter in the division, well, then we're going to get a lot of fights that we might not want. But we like the entertainment, right? We want the fights that we want, but at the same time, we want the legitimacy of the sport to stay intact. And some people will say that's already over, right? So at what point do we go straight off the rankings? And at what point are the rankings legitimate? Because now they're controlled by AI. And before that, they were controlled by journalists. But you know what I mean? Like once this power structure is in place, guys, then what are we doing, man? Should Armin get the next title shot? What if he gets the belt and just goes to Kickstream? Then what? Then who are they going to have fight? Paddy versus Charles Oliveira? You know? Bring back Justin Gaethje if Justin were to lose that fight. What if Justin wins? Okay, then he vacates the belt, right? Armin's busy kick streaming. We got Paddy, who lost to Justin. We got Charles Oliveira, who lost to Ilia Topuria. And it's okay. So, but the business keeps going. So do they bring in DoorDash in the back? You don't know, at what point, are the delineation between good and bad is getting really weird because the celebrity influencer, or even just the influencer, not some of these dudes aren't necessarily celebrities, they're just the person of the day doing the stunt of the day. Like, hey, I'm gonna go steal purses today and get arrested. It's like, well, bro, I get that that might get views, but that's not like contributing to the collective art of entertainment, right? But it'll get views. So you're rewarded for bad behavior. And now we're in a place where there's a lot of manufactured bullshit. And so, how do we fucking navigate through the manufactured bullshit? As fucking crazy as this sounds, I believe the next wave that hits the UFC will be authenticity. So while I might not agree with Patty Pimblett's take on men's mental health, I do believe that there are men's mental health challenges happening. I just don't believe that therapy is probably the best way for most dudes. But guess what? We live in a country where I'm not allowed to have an opinion, so go see your therapist, take your doctor's orders, do whatever they say, whatever prescription meds. That's not how I stay in a good mood 24/7. But that's how they would whatever they do. Just listen to your doctor. Don't listen to me. I'm just some fucking dude on the internet who fucking beats people up in a cage, right? So Patty seems to be very authentic. So I feel like that's why his star is shining right now, whereas Hokit is getting the attention, but his celebrity, his stardom is dependent on his performance, where Patty just lost and he got 2 million followers. And then obviously he won again since then. But like after his loss to Gaethje, he got a lot of followers because he's authentic. It's not this cookie cutless, calculated vibe right now. So I believe authenticity is coming back. That's what I think. So maybe we're going to see more Nina drama, putting her feet on the camera and sniffing Dana's deodorant and all kinds of shit, which, hey, good for them. I want Nina to get the bag, right? I understand the criticisms of Nina, and I understand Nina's frustrations with those criticisms. But at some point, we got to get to we got to get back to and I think Nina actually, this is why she's successful, is because as bizarre as her behavior seems, I believe a lot of that is her authentic behavior. I think she is a little bit weird. And I think she knows how to allow herself to be that on camera. And I think Patty is a little bit empathetic, and he allows himself to be vulnerable on camera. And so somebody else, like Josh Hokit, he got the attention. He's going to get a title fight soon. He's going to mix it up, and he's going to become more authentic as he transitions away from the characters that he does. That's what I'm saying. So I called it here first, guys. When you see Josh move into the real Josh and kind of phase the character out, the character did what it was supposed to do. I think he'll bring it back at times, but I would say as a whole, the wave is going to be authenticity over everything, because the influencer culture is not sustainable, because it only leads to the gratuitous more and more stunts after more and more stunts after more crazier bullshit, more let's set ourselves on fire, let's fucking let's hit each other with cars, whatever, right? Like how far can that go? Well, there's a finite end to that behavior, and I feel like the more authentic people can be, the better it's going to get for everybody. And we'll actually connect with the actual person, because there's nothing worse in social media than becoming famous for being somebody that you don't actually want to be, and then having a fan base built on that. It gets crazy. I've seen it happen to a couple people where they're like, dude, I got to keep this shit up. And it's like, dude, they will turn on you if you don't. And that dude's like, fuck, bro. Fuck. And so my girlfriend, she started social media 4 months ago. She got 500,000 subscribers across platforms. Now, keep in mind, she excels at everything she does in life. And she just cooked me some chicken. I cooked her chicken the other day. She says my chicken's better. I said her chicken's better. We get into like, this is the type of arguments we get into. Like, no, baby, your chicken's better. But like hers really, like, hey, maybe I'm biased. She makes some good ass chicken. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But the wave of social wants to start guiding you in directions that might not be authentic to you. And so I see someone up close who's doing a fucking excellent job at staying true to themselves. And then I have friends that are in the social media light that are not doing that. And I see people from, let's say I'm friends with somebody and they know a big podcaster, right? This person wants me to go on this podcast. Bro, you'd be great on that podcast. And I'm like, this guy's got millions of followers, but he's getting 300 likes. Like, it doesn't add up. And then you might see that same person getting the worst possible humans on their podcast just for views. And you're like, dog, do I even want the people that tune in to watch that? Do I even want them watching me? You get what I'm saying? So it gets into a weird space. And that's why I like these lives, right? Because it's not scripted. It's not me, hey, man, here's 4 funky facts on how to fucking, right? Like, I could talk to you. Tycoon Troy, the chicken you didn't have to cook yourself is always better. This man's spitting. That's a wise man right there. HHA Custom Knives. You're killing it, David. Glad to catch you live. Bro, appreciate you. Bro, that means a lot, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're on the live. It's the feeling's mutual. You know what I'm saying? I like when the live has the energy. I'm here to connect. So that I don't know, man. Maybe I misunderstand social media, but I'm like, dude, I feel like it's a awesome opportunity to align with like-minded individuals. And if you are inauthentic, or let's say you do something specifically for views, like let's say I go on some fucking crazy podcast, and then they have me on there with some horrible person, and then that horrible person is like lying, and now I'm involved in this, and then they say fools argue in pairs. So you got to know, hey, this short-term view boost would be cool as a vanity metric, but it's not fucking real. It's like you would have to be somebody you're not in order to be cool with that. And some people are. They're cool to go buy fucking viewers. And I'm not attacking anybody specifically. I'm just saying, like, you see this. Once you start noticing it, you'll see like, oh, somebody has 5 million followers and 100 likes on a video. That's interesting. Oh, wait, that's the pattern on their whole page? Oh, okay. And that person charges people to come on their podcast. Okay, so that's a pretty interesting business model, one would say, right? And so then over time, as they have more and more guests, they start to show their vanity metrics to people, and then they get legitimate guests, and now they're legitimized, and now they go sell that same product to somebody else. Hey, this video got X amount of views. That one they didn't bot, right? Which is sending bots, like fake views to a video. And then once they do that, they can show that to somebody else to sell them like a $5,000 or $10,000 package as a guest. Like, hey, this is, but no, the dude who's legit came on your pod because his people didn't go look up your numbers to see if they are genuine numbers or not. You went on there, you generated genuine views, and now they're using those genuine views to show other people, to sell them something, to get them on. And then they back that up with getting the most controversial, worst ideas ever. And they promote those publicly, right? Because it's, hey, man, it'll get engagement. And it's like, so what are we doing here? So what the fuck are we doing here? Anyway, let me read the chat. Number 77. But that choke sequence was sick. Patty's ground game is legit. And he's long and now good chin. He took his time building smart. Pop influencer, but real. Yeah, so I want Patty to win. I would like to see Justin Gaethje bounce with the belt right off into the sunset. And then we have something like Patty Pimblett versus Ilia Topuria for the belt. Patty wins. And now we have the perfect mix of like authenticity, charisma, and ability. The problem is, I'm not sure if Patty could genuinely beat Ilia. I know Ilia looks human now, but dude, he's still, man, he dropped Gaethje. Everybody else that's fought Gaethje got out of the fight at that moment. Gaethje just had to be the one person, and maybe there'll be somebody else in the future that has that fucking like, hey, I'm still here, motherfucker. You got to kill me. And because Gaethje had that X factor, that's what survived. But like technically, Ilia did what Ilia said was going to do. Hey, I'm going to let him work. A couple minutes in, I'm going to push him to the cage. I'm going to land shots when he's on the cage. I'm going to throw punches and combinations. I'm going to get him out of here. The only part is Gaethje didn't get out of here, where everybody else got out of here, right? So like the determining factor to me in that fight wasn't necessarily that Ilia's game plan didn't work. His game plan worked, but it needed to work. It was like how to beat level 8, and he's playing on level 9. You know what I'm saying? So he had the correct game plan for everybody else, and it worked over and over and over and over and over again. And then this particular fighter, the correct game plan for the wrong fighter, if that makes any sense. So I believe he could come back with that game plan, exact same game plan, do the exact same thing, and then beat the shit out of a lot of people. So I don't think Ilia's gonna go anywhere. The only difference is now he looks human, so other people will have confidence going in there with like, oh shit, bro. Yeah, if I don't get KO'd, it's going to be a long night for Ilia. And then Ilia's going to be in some drag out fights, you know. Also, some people were saying Justin Gaethje was punching with his thumbs, and that's why Ilia's eyes were damaged. I would have to go back and watch it. That's wild if true. That's fucking wild if true. So, anyways, guys, that's what's on my mind right now. That's what I'm thinking about. It's good to have you guys on here. You know, has the UFC become too Hollywood? What's the difference between profit and authenticity? What's the difference between stunts and being genuine? What's the difference between a view and a view? What's the difference between a sponsorship and a sponsor? What's the difference between an advertiser and an advertiser? Like sometimes not all money's the same, not all views are the same. And that's a decision that we all have to come to internally, right? So the most important thing we can do is get in touch with who the fuck we are and ask ourselves those questions. Who am I? Who I want to be? And what do I got to do to get there to become that type of person? Like who would I need to become to be who I want to be in the future? Anyways, I love you guys. Have